Seeing that we have no one in attendance, I guess we don't have public comments. Move forward for the approval of the September meeting minutes, and I know there's a couple of changes.
Yes, there's two changes. One, the non-resident fees should be $20, not $10.
Okay.
And the second one, classes should be starting, it should be October and not November.
Would you like to make a motion to
I
approve
move
with
that those two corrections be made to the minutes.
A second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
And then a motion to, that's to make the changes, you wanna make a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes as amended by Councilor Thoreau.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, two motions, we're moving along. Town manager's report on community senior center project. It's open.
Not really much. It's, you're still working on the punch list. We got a few items on order waiting to come in, railings and some lighting in the back of that ramp. And we're still waiting for them to finish up the line striping. I don't know when that contract is coming back. And they should be starting to fix that paneling that was, I think it was started to be yellow, now it's pink. So hopefully we can finish that up soon.
The facade.
And I think, other than that, we're letting see how things play out and then make some adjustments with the parking. The only thing that we do have is we keep the door locked by the nursery school. So that could cause some entrance questions on the new parking lot, whether they have to walk around. And I think we've been leaving the door
By the
open.
gym, open,
So
just
for the
like-
walkers. So. And then, of course, we'll be working on that bathroom situation.
We can't get through a meeting without discussing that.
I'd like to end on that note.
Any questions on the town manager report?
Nope.
No? All right. Gina, senior services.
We had some activities before we actually opened on the 12th. Party in the Park was at Elmridge Park, and it was sponsored by Care Partners of Connecticut and Mapleview Manor. We had approximately 75 seniors in attendance. It was a beautiful day. Wonderful. Our grand opening and ribbon cutting, I thought, went very well. We had probably, according to what sandwiches were left over, about 170 people attended. We got a lot of new memberships through that, and a lot of people showing interest that they want to do things at the senior center. We did a grab-and-go birthday cupcake on October 5th, and we had 50 people take part in that. A jukebox bingo with a lunch. It was a virtual event, but people came by, picked up their lunch, and that was sponsored by the Hearth from Glastonbury. Since we opened on the 12th, it's been very busy. I'm giving tours, meeting new members, having people fill out applications. We're tweaking rooms and tables, what people like and don't like. Each group has their own likes and dislikes, so we're trying to accommodate everybody, and we're changing times a little bit, so we're getting that all set up. The lunch program is going very well. The numbers continue to grow. We have 58 registered for Thursday, which is a huge number. It is roast beef, so that could be part of it, but it's still a really good number. So one of the things that we've changed is that people can now register online for the lunches. They can also pay with a credit card. And I think this is good for somebody like myself who wants my parents to go. I register them, I pay for them, and they can just walk in and have lunch and leave. So hopefully it'll accommodate some of the seniors that aren't tech savvy, or just make it easier for people to be able to register ahead of time. We do not charge them if they don't show up. Their money gets pushed to the next day. So that, you know, we don't want to penalize someone if they're not feeling well, because we don't want them to come in if they're not feeling well. So we're also tracking all of this in MyRec, which is new. So we know every day who's going to be here and who paid and how much they paid. So hopefully our statistics this year will be very good. With that and the increased membership applications that are all going online and the phones ringing off the hook, Parks and Recreation and Senior Services are both hiring part-time clerical positions that should be starting next week to help with some of the workload. The one complaint I've gotten from a few people is, why don't you answer your phone? Well, we're not sitting at our desk. Charlene is and answering the phone, but there's just so many calls coming in that, you know, once we're at lunch serving, we come back and sometimes there's 20 messages, so it's been very busy. The cafe is open. It is solely run by volunteers, 8:30 to approximately 2:30, depending on if we have a volunteer in the afternoon. Complimentary coffee, tea, and ice water. I'm putting together a program for people that want to contribute. We will have a cafe sponsor, a monthly one for $50. Their money will go to offset the cost of coffee and cups and all the supplies. We're hoping to have some goodies by next week. We've been not serving food there, basically COVID careful, but I think next week we might put out some cookies, as long as the volunteer is the person handling it. We're trying to keep it as safe as possible. We are using our gymnasium. Every morning we have pickleball people in there from 9:30 to 12, if the weather's not good outside. We have walkers in there from 8 to 9. And then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have table tennis. We were able to get 4 tables donated, and we have approximately 10 to 20 avid ping pong players that are coming in, very good. So if you want to catch some of the action, it's kind of fun to see them play. They're really, really good. So in an effort to bring in younger, more vital members and to have something for people, that's what we did, and it's working out well right now. They have to be a member of the senior center to participate, so that's also encouraged new members. Our health services nurse was in last week for the first time and did probably about 8 blood pressures. She's a volunteer. Today was her day, but she was sick, so she wasn't here today. But on Thursday, we have our first foot care screening, and we only have, I think, 1 or 2 appointments left. So that's filling up. We're also starting Therapeutic Massage in November, and we have an introduction to Therapeutic Massage for people to learn about it. We were doing this in hopes of encouraging people to sign up, but it's almost full. It is a pay-for service, and they pay the masseuse directly. We are opening, or having an open house for the fitness center on November 10th, 1:30 to 4:30. Our personal trainer will be there, the packets will be there, people will be able to look at the equipment, talk to the trainer, get all their medical forms that they need filled out. The way it's going to go is we will have a staff person there Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoons. The rest of the shifts I am hoping to cover with volunteers that are trained. In exchange for their volunteer service, they will have access to the fitness center complimentary. I think that's a good way to get volunteers because they need to be trained. We'll also give them CPR and first aid training. So it's a bigger commitment than maybe some of the other volunteer services that we provide.
Gina, what time is your open house?
1:30 to 4:30
Thank you.
on Wednesday, November 10th. This month coming up, we have a few educational programs. Because we are encouraging people to use the computer and to sign up on MyRec, Nick from the office is doing a program on MyRec on how to register, how to create a household, and he's going to walk people through it. That's going to be on November 11th. We also have an estate planning workshop on the 15th. We have Rocco from QAM coming in to do a building design presentation to talk about how they came up with the building format, the colors, and then he's also going to give, I call it a behind the scene tour of the building. There's still many people who haven't been in yet, and I thought this would be interesting. We also have some evening programs for seniors who are still working. We're doing one on Medicare on November 16th at 6 p.m. and then we're doing one on Social Security on November 30th at 6 p.m. We've started the movies. Mary Hogan and her staff have come over and we did our first movies last week, Monday evening and then Friday afternoon. The Friday afternoon movie had about 15 people, which was very good. The Monday evening only had 5, but I'm not sure people know that we're doing this yet, so I think once the word gets out, that'll grow.
What was the movie?
Queen Bee, I think. It was supposed to be a good movie. Yeah. It had a lot of older lady actresses in there. The Heights is this week.
No
So-
Meryl Streep?
No Meryl Streep.
No,
sorry.
that's why I only had 15.
We'll put that request in for the next one. Transportation, we've been only, up until recently, we've only been putting 6 people on a van at a time to try to separate people. We're going to bump that up to 8. Our drivers have been very busy, making multiple trips. We ended up going to East Side Restaurant in New Britain for Oktoberfest for Adventures in Dining, and they had a ball. They had a really good time, and we took 2 vans. So by bumping the numbers up a little bit, we can accommodate more people as well. For the holidays, for Veterans Day, we have Walter Martin is going to come in, and it's funny because I'm trying to schedule things so that it's not going to be when somebody's playing bingo, or when somebody's playing setback, or we have a lot of afternoon games going on. So we're trying a lunchtime entertainer. He's going to come in at 12:15 and sing patriotic songs on Veterans Day. And then our Thanksgiving dinner will be on Monday, November 22nd. It'll have all the fixings to a typical Thanksgiving dinner. And then afterwards, we're having a grab and go with pies. So people who don't come to lunch can come and drive through and get a pumpkin or apple pie. And the seniors that are here for lunch, when they leave, they can take the pie with them for Thanksgiving. And then December 1st, we're doing something called Klezmer and Kugel. We're having a klezmer band come, and we're going to also have Kugel from the Crown, Sweet Kugel. And that's going to be at 1:30 on December 1st. And a heads up for Christmas, we're doing a Christmas tea. It's called the 12 Days of Christmas, and that'll be on December 15th.
12 days or?
Do it all in one day, but it'll be 12 days of Christmas. So if you have any teacups at home that you want to get rid of, we're probably going to be looking for people to bring in their teacups. The newsletter is almost at the printer. We'll be finalizing it today for November. I've talked to the company that actually does the newsletter for us and asked them for more space, which I've been told no, but we're going to work on that. And also, I'm thinking about doing a 2-month version because that would save time and money. A lot of the things are secular, so they're in the fall, they're in the winter, they're in the spring. So if we could do that, I think we'll save some costs and also save some time. So I'm working on that as well. So if that happens, it would be in January. I think that's it.
Questions?
Just a comment on that learning program that we were talking about. I talked to some of the people and they thought January was a better start because after the elections, the holidays, so just,
Good.
we'll talk more about timing and all that.
Okay. We are still doing virtual programs and in person, so we'll continue some virtual programs even though we're open because some people still prefer to do virtual. Like we have a French class, we have 6 people signed up for it.
Wow.
So it's a good start for the first time, and that's virtual.
Gina, I know you're relatively new to the position, but are numbers increasing? You kind of able to look into history?
I haven't had time to look in history.
Okay.
But the numbers are increasing just in the last, this is the 3rd week, and we're seeing more people.
Okay.
And I know our transportation numbers, just from what I'm hearing, they're higher than what they've been in the past. New people are joining.
Okay.
So,
That's
yeah,
good.
hopefully I'll be able to give you some more concrete statistics as we go on. But,
But the new membership form hasn't been out that long, so you want to wait a little bit to get the count, I would imagine. But
right, we'll have a good idea when we do our mailing, because we're not taking anyone off the mailing list. So when we see how many more we have, we'll see how many new members we have. There's quite a bit of people who are on the mailing list who have been members forever, haven't filled out the applications yet. So I think this time around, we're going to put, for all the ones who did not put an application in their envelope, please fill this out. You know, they think, I've been a member forever, I don't need to do this again. But the information changes, especially emergency contact information, so you need to have that.
I do have one question, on the dining going out, can people drive themselves, I mean, if they wanted to go but don't need to take the
Yes.
van? Okay.
We actually had someone, I think, who came up from Meriden, 2 people that used to live in Rocky Hill and used to go on that program, and they drove up and met the group there. The way it works is they pay a small fee for transportation when they go, when they sign up, and then when they're there, they're on their own for their meal. And we ask in advance for separate checks so that they're not trying to figure that out all night. So, yeah, that's, thank you for bringing that up. People can do it, because that's a fun place to go.
Right.
I mean, that
yeah.
would have been.
I used to work in a room, so I've been there.
We're doing the Hawthorne Inn, Casamia at the Hawthorne Inn for this month, for November, and it's Thursday, I believe the 18th. If that's a Thursday.
Thank you, Gina. Melissa, Human Services?
Okay, so renters rebate checks for all seniors that applied for renters rebate. The checks do go out. They're being mailed out the first round tomorrow, which is most of them. There was across the board, a 3% decrease in the amounts this year, because of which we kind of look at as also a good thing. That means the program was maxed out. So that means it is reaching seniors and who are getting, so more seniors are getting some reimbursement back. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. So all checks should be coming in. The phones will be blowing up for those seniors that did need an extension. Not to panic, it's fine, it's in the system. But all checks, typically, the program goes on all summer, and we get your paperwork, and then it's the checks are mailed out through the program. So they should be coming in by the end of the week. You should start to see them. Energy assistance program is up and running. Tons of money, especially from COVID relief, have come down. So the program, we are highly encouraging everybody to apply. That is not just seniors, that's across the board. Any household, if you're struggling with your primary source of heat, so electric, oil, or gas, give us a call. Even if you don't think you qualified or historically you didn't, you may now, because the guidelines have changed. So also with that, the price of heating has gone up exponentially. I know there's like a 30% increase in electric that was just passed in April, and I think they're talking about a 30% projected increase in heating oil this winter too. So please, 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 for anybody, give us a call about that. We are doing holiday meal sign up right now, so that is for Thanksgiving and Christmas. If you call the Human Services, it is for any resident, not just seniors. But any resident who is alone for the holidays or does not have a place to go for a meal. So we deliver Thanksgiving morning during the day. We will deliver your meal. All you have to do is provide us your address and phone number, just in case, we're having a hard time, the volunteers having a hard time finding the door. And no other information, so we don't take any other information. You don't have to give us any explanation. And also Christmas, we deliver them on Christmas Eve day. If there is another holiday that you are going to be celebrating, there's something specific, and which we are going to work on, trying to add in some other holidays in the coming year for anybody else. But if there is significance, we are asking that if we're unaware of it or there is a significant holiday, for any group that a meal or they're alone that would be a gathering, could please give us a call at Human Services and give us a little explanation on that, or what we could do to help include part of our community or any part of our community, because we certainly do not want to leave anybody out. We can't do every holiday, but we are open to, the program has grown. It has gotten very popular for the holidays, so we certainly don't want to limit it to these two. We typically do something in the spring as well, but we're trying to find a time to do, open it up to another holiday so that nobody is excluded. So we do have the PTO at West Hill has done also, I know Gina mentioned the pies for the seniors. We also have gotten a donation of pies through the school system this year. So there's a ton of pies that are going to be available for our food pantry recipients, as well as our adoptive family. So adoptive family program has been going on for many years. That is for any family who wants to come in and apply. That is for, what we do is pair up a family with a volunteer in town or a business that adopts the family for the meal. And typically it works the same. It's for both the November and the December holidays. So we try to provide a gift card for some fresh produce that they can shop for themselves, and it's a gift basket with many of the staple items that your donor family likes to shop for you. And then around the December holidays, there's gifts or gift cards so that you can provide for your children. It is all anonymous. Nobody knows your names. So that is going on again this year. And we will hopefully be including a pie for all of those families as well to take home. I think it's Lime and Orchard that they did. So kills two birds with one stone because it's a fundraiser for the kids at school and their programs, but donation back to the community. So that is that. We are wrapping up our garden. We've had many very generous residents in the neighborhood who are helping us clear out. So we did have some plans and are still trying to get the last few things out of the garden. So not that we're not willing to share, but it's not quite a free-for-all yet. But we have just put another last bit of stuff. I think the tomatoes are pretty much shot, but there were a few eggplants, a few squash left. Basil, I know the last bunch of that all just went into the food pantry for produce for the next week or two as well, leading up to that. We have received some calls from some seniors that have a hard time getting out, but we have worked on it. Gina, I want to thank you for your help with the drivers. That has been tremendous. And with our staffing, we're trying to, when we leave at the end of the day, we are dropping off on our way out of the office to a couple homes as well. So if you're having a hard time, give us a call, because transportation is not an issue. We are all working together and still going to provide that service. So if you're homebound, please don't hesitate. Give us a call and we'll figure it out with transportation in the senior division or in our department. So that's our update, I guess. Do you want me to mention the move on the 12th, our office space?
Might as well continue.
So we are projected I think we're the last group that in this move is moving over to what was the old Parks and Rec office spaces. So November 12th, we are pretty packed up in the office now, so hopefully that will be smooth. I think it's geared to be an all in one day. So certainly we will do our best. I know IT is told us they're gonna hook up the phones really quickly, so we will be here and available, and sorry Daniel for my back to you, but do our best to answer phones and certainly be on call for whatever emergent situations like we always are. So in the meantime, just leave us a voicemail if not, and we'll get back to you within a day or two but be patient, please. It's a lot in the midst of all that.
They're gonna paint the space. They're making some adjustments with the furniture.
They're taking 2 of the cubicles out to put a table in the back for those baskets and things that we use so that the public can get in and get out relatively quickly.
Are you gonna use the old nursery school room?
Yep.
For your
medical equipment that we will have, yep. So we're gonna try and get that organized so that's right on site with the
Kennedy House
seniors.
right now, primarily?
No, our medical equipment's in the vault in our space right now, so
But you
we
should
are.
have plenty of room, right, because it's a pretty good sized room.
The vault? Or, in the other room?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the old preschool room, we'll have plenty of room, so hopefully we can organize that as well. So that gets hard when it gets tangled up, so, and hopefully in the main building, we'll have availability to clean it up real well and keep it organized and get it in and out through that door without much difficulty, so.
And we're gonna leave the pantry at Kennedy House, 'cause
We are, so
Pretty
that
much,
position is up on the website for the food pantry coordinator. So
Okay.
we are looking. I want to thank our volunteers that have been helping out, but that gets difficult as well. So we're doing the very best that we can. It is open Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now, but between staffing and then once we move, we will certainly, we get somebody over there if it's emergent and we will continue to do so, but hopefully when we have a food pantry coordinator back on board with as an employee, we can get that rolling again and get more volunteers in and have it accessible and available more often. But we are still doing appointments, so there's only one person in the pantry at a time, so it is safe. We've had no problems with that, so. But the food is piling up, so.
So, do you let them in to choose what they want, or do you?
Yep, no, it's just shop for yourself,
Your
so.
bag anymore of that?
They bring their own. We have recyclable bags that we use, the insulated bags that say Human Services. If you're registered to use the food pantry, you just give us a call. If you're not registered yet, we take you in there to use it and show you the ropes while you get your paperwork together. And then you just call up and make an appointment so that it's only one at a time. You come in and then you shop for yourself on the shelves, whatever that you prefer, whatever you need. We sort of have really liked that system versus the pre-packed that a lot of towns do. And we think it helps reserve some dignity and helps you be autonomous, and we appreciate like that approach, so we're really trying to hold on and keep that approach.
Any questions from Melissa?
No, I think it was pretty complete.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the food pantry's well stocked, or in good shape.
We are in good shape, yes. Actually, and so I should just say while I'm at it, our numbers are down, which is a good thing for the food pantry right now. And so we have had, because it's also that time of year when school starts back, there's a lot of drives and our numbers are down. I anticipate that that will come to an end as far as the numbers being down, and we will see the influx again.
The numbers being down,
numbers,
the number of users.
Yes, correct,
Okay.
sorry. The number of users is down. So we are encouraging people and I just want to put this out there, one of the biggest reasons that I think in all of our surrounding neighboring towns are seeing the same trend with the number of users being down, but that is because state benefits because of COVID for the supplemental nutrition program, they call it SNAP, has had a huge influx and increase. And as well, I think most of us are aware, the school systems are also providing both breakfast and lunch free to charge. Not only for the child in school, but all the siblings. And so that has gone on since COVID. So the state has provided a significant amount of money for nutrition programs for those families, which is a wonderful thing. So it's not, I don't want anybody to get the idea that the food pantries won't be used or won't be needed, in the future, because they certainly will be. I think once that funding, as we see with all funding, once that funding gets cut, we'll need that.
So there's an application they need to fill out, is that correct? And is there an income limit?
For the food pantry specifically?
Yeah,
So there's no
absolutely.
application. The process in our department is we do an intake, right? So we
Okay.
have you sit down, we ask you to bring some basic documentation that's across the board, usually what the federal and the state programs ask for. We start a file, and basically we sit down and talk to any family in the situation face to face, so that we can evaluate any and all systems at the intake or programs that we think would be beneficial. So that's the process, and once you do that, you just get a card with your name and address on it, and then you use the pantry as you need it, and it's just initialed. It's not any big production. Once you're registered to use it, you just call directly over there, you make your appointment, and you go use it when you need it.
Okay. I'm just wondering, do you think there's a lot of the seniors that would qualify for that?
Oh, a ton of our program, our recipients are currently seniors.
But do you think you're missing a lot, or is it
Um,
worth having you maybe come out and
I think
talk
we
to
are missing a
someone?
lot since the COVID, because I think what happened is the seniors that were homebound became homebound. I think a plethora of issues, some of which there was a decline in health, and so a lot of our seniors moved in with adult children or got caretakers that could then help facilitate grocery shopping. So I think a
Okay.
lot of reasons. I think we're starting to see it also again, which is a good thing, but I know, for instance, our housing authority in that unit, still a lot of recipients there utilize our services, but I know they received a grant for their own food pantry down there, as well as food drives specifically were done this past year, so, which is a very good thing, right? The community stepping up, it's not a bad thing. But so, and that's why I just don't want to get complacent in seeing the decline in numbers, because as
It's more of a
funding.
pause.
It's a pause, correct, and that's a very good thing, but also I don't want to take for granted the fact that right now there's a little bit more stability with funding for nutrition and food stability, because I think inevitably we will see that funding decline as well. And so it's a good thing while families are getting back on their feet and trying to recover from a lot of the COVID, but I don't want people to go without. So we do have plenty right now, and we say to everybody, if you are in need, even if you are receiving extra supplemental programming for food or help with that, please just give us a call anyway. It still is difficult, and no reason for anybody to have any food insecurity at this time or paper products or anything that we could potentially help out with. We're getting a lot of requests this time of year as well, so, you know, we're certainly willing to hear if households need something and help pass that on to the schools or whatnot that are looking to help.
Thank you.
Sure.
John, do we have anything for new business?
Nope.
All right. Just like to use other as a moment, thank everybody, both on town staff, my fellow council members. This is our last senior liaison committee meeting for this council session. So thank you for working through COVID. We did a lot of remote meetings. And now we're back in person. Of course, this is our last meeting, so for the new council. So thank everybody.
And thank you.
Thank you.
For your time
Thank
and
you.
efforts.
If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Good, I expected people to be here from the